Am I naive in thinking that I'm going to be able to make a difference here? Like, is that stupid? I think it always starts that way, but I truly want to make a difference. I want people to be able to see what's really going on, because the mainstream media is fucking with everybody. CNN is racist. MSNBC is racist. These mainstream media outlets are racist, and so is Black Lives Matter. These people are intentionally fucking with you. How do you guys not see that? Insane. And so I'm sitting here, I'm watching it happen in real time. I'm like, they're not even trying to hide it from us anymore. Oh my God, it blows my mind, dude. So then I wake up the next morning and Facebook, gone. They deleted me completely. They were censoring me the very next day. The First Amendment is dead, you guys. The government has the technology to spread propaganda and misinformation like we've never seen in history. This is legit the Great Reset. It's happening right now. We deserve to know what's really going on. This is the Uncensored Truth. What's up, guys? It's Jeremy with the Uncensored Truth, the podcast designed to free your minds from the grips of the mainstream media by giving you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the uncensored truth. I want to start off again by telling you, if this is your first time watching this video or listening to this podcast, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever platform you're on, SoundCloud, whatever platform you're on, please subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps out a ton. It really does. I greatly appreciate it. So if you could, please subscribe and turn on notifications. If you haven't seen, the DA in North Carolina has released the body cam footage of the Andrew Brown police-involved shooting, and they have also announced that the police will not be charged, as they were 100% justified in the shooting. Now, this is no surprise to me, because as the story was unfolding, I was pretty certain that this was gonna turn out this way because of the information that we were given, not because of what the mainstream media was telling us, because they were making it sound like he was executed, absolutely without a doubt. And some of the other information that was coming out, witnesses and other stuff that was really hard to find, but you could find if you tried to look for it, actually, instead of just reading the headlines. If you read the whole story, the pieces were coming together, and it was starting to look as though this was going to be 100% justified, as it was. And that's what happened. Yeah, they announced just the other day, I think just yesterday, the body cam footage came out, but they had announced that it was justified, and there will not be any charges brought forth. So if you remember from a few episodes, I was talking about this incident, and according to the family, they had said Brown was just sitting at home in his car by himself, minding his own business, when police showed up and just started firing on him. He got scared and tried to leave to get away from the police, who were trying to murder him, because of course they're racist and that's what they do. So he was trying to get away, and then they continued shooting at him until he died. And they said he was never, ever, 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 ever a threat to the police officers. He was executed. They said executed. And of course, that is the story that the mainstream media ran with. And it's just, it's insane how this whole thing unfolded, because it was completely unnecessary. But it happened anyways, and that's how it always happens. The family actually held a press conference with the press after they were able to see the body cam footage themselves. And what they did was they gave you their interpretation as to what happened, and those are the headlines you saw spewing all over mainstream media. I mean, they were telling you exactly what the family thought happened, as opposed to what police on the scene were telling them. I mean, they said from the beginning that they believed this was going to be a justified shooting, as police lives were in danger. So you only see the family side of the story. The family, who is clearly emotional about this. Obviously, somebody in their family has died. They just got done watching a video of it happening. They watched it several times, so they're extremely emotional. And then they hold a press conference and tell the world exactly what happened in their eyes. So this is a quote from the family's attorney, who was there watching the body cam footage with them that day. Let me look at this a little closer. We were able to see Mr. Brown sitting in his vehicle, that he was ambushed as the sheriff's office made their way to his residence. At all times, his hands were visible. At all times, he did not appear to be a threat. This is what his son had to say. My dad got executed just by trying to save his own life. The officers were in no harm of him at all. It just messed up how this happened. He died in a hail of bullets, and body cam footage showed him being executed while his hands were visibly firmly gripping the steering wheel. Well, yeah, I believe that, because his hands were definitely on the steering wheel, people. That is a fact. He's actually telling you the truth there. Lassiter? Sherry Lassiter or Cherry Lassiter. I'm not sure what her name is. I'm sorry about that. But she was here. I think she's actually an activist. But either way, she was there with the family in support of the family. She says, quote, "Let's be clear. This was an execution. Andrew Brown was in his driveway. The sheriff truck blocked him in his driveway, so he could not exit his driveway. Andrew had his hands on his steering wheel. He was not reaching for anything. He wasn't touching anything. He wasn't throwing anything around. He sat there with his hands firmly on the steering wheel while being shot at. There was at no time in the 20 seconds we saw where he was threatening the officers in any kind of way. He was trying to evade being shot." Basically, she's saying that's all that happened. And they are right when they say that his hands were firmly on the steering wheel, because here's the thing. The minute the cops showed up, he tried to get the fuck out of there. All of these articles, all of these headlines from CNN, MSNBC, and all these mainstream media news outlets, all of these articles and headlines talk about what the family said happened. At no point whatsoever do they ever get into detail as to what the police officers on the scene said happened. So I'm going to give you their account, and actually I watched the video myself and give you my account as to what happened. If you want to see the video, it's online. You can see it now. It's available. There's 4 or 5 different clips because there were several officers there. But you thought he was just sitting at home and all of a sudden police showed up because they're racist and they wanted to kill him. But the truth is, this was a drug sting. SWAT is what showed up to his house. There were 4 or 5, 6, I think, officers that showed up, all wearing SWAT gear, because he was busted selling drugs to an undercover police officer. So they were there issuing warrants and search warrant as well of his house because of the fact that he sold drugs to an undercover police officer. And they actually have been, this has been an operation that had been underway for a while. Like, they have been watching him. He'd been surveilled, and they were going to arrest him because of the fact that he was a known drug dealer, and this was a sting operation. Like, this wasn't just some guy sitting at his house hanging out and then he dies because police are racist. No, this was a pretty tactical operation that was underway to arrest a known drug dealer. SWAT shows up to his house. They're in the back of this pickup truck. They all jump out when they get to his house and surround his vehicle immediately. Now, again, they're saying that they just started firing on him. That's not what happened. They're yelling at him to get out of the vehicle and to get onto the ground because he's under arrest. He saw SWAT. I mean, he knew they were there. He knew why they were there. At this moment, it's over. If he puts his hands up, gets out of the vehicle, he's going to jail. It's over. Nothing left. The story's done, guys. He goes to jail for selling drugs because that's what he did. Instead, he decides that he would rather die than go to jail. Instead of getting out of the vehicle and surrendering and going to jail, he decided to put his vehicle into reverse. He backs up and he hits an officer. He comes in contact with him. You can't necessarily see that. You do know that he hit somebody. You just can't tell how hard it is. Regardless, it doesn't matter. It's fucking terrifying shit. So then, even at that point, they're yelling, "Stop, stop, get out of the car." They want him to surrender. They do not start firing on him, even though he has already come in contact with one officer. Then he decides to put it in drive, moves forward, and then hits another officer from the front. And at that point, they are screaming. And I believe just as he's turning left after he contacts that second officer and is going off, it looks like there's another one in the way there that he could potentially hit. And that's when they start firing on him. It lasts about 40 seconds. It doesn't last very long at all. But that's when they start firing on him. And he speeds straight forward, smashing into another vehicle, which I believe was unmarked police officer as well that had parked just next door or something, but drives through the yard, hits either a tree or that car. I can't remember which one, but I remember seeing the headlines and witnesses were saying there was damage to his vehicle. So immediately I was thinking this guy was driving his car and probably was driving erratic. They said he was driving through the yard. I saw that in some of the witness accounts as well. So that led me to believe that, well, if the police officers were in danger of being struck by his vehicle, that's no different than pulling a gun out and pointing at him. You may just point your gun at the officer with the intention of scaring him or getting him to stop whatever it is he's trying to do in the name of the law, but when you do that, you're going to die. The cops are going to shoot you. They're going to protect themselves. It's no different than when you drive your vehicle towards an officer. If you're not intentionally in your own mind trying to kill this officer, they don't know that. But at some point, they have to make a decision to protect themselves, and that's what they did. After being contacted by this guy's vehicle twice, looks like I'm throwing up 4, but that's a west side, or it's twice. Anyways, by being contacted 2 times... and then continuing to drive erratically, the police decide to neutralize the situation and they shoot him. And this is what drives me nuts about how the mainstream media handled this situation. For one, I think this lasted a lot longer than it needed to. I wish they would have released the body cam footage immediately like they did with the Micaiah Bryant shooting. But I know that in this state, they've got a legal process that they have to go through before they can release this footage. I just think that in this situation, when you've got activists ready to destroy the country, they need to speed it up a little bit and bring the tensions down. Do what they can to save lives, because every one of these police officers' lives were in danger this whole time. That's how people are, man. There was a target on their back this whole time. But think about the way that the mainstream media reported on this stuff. The minute it happened, they decided that they were going to side with a drug dealer's family and tell you what they believed happened on this day, as opposed to talking with and letting you know what the police officers had to say who were there on the scene. That's how crazy this shit is. The police officers are villainized to the point where you can't trust a word they say. The media will have you believe that they are the bad guy no matter what every single time. CNN and MSNBC both reported the headlines that he was executed. Now, here's the thing. Here's how they do this. The headline: Brown was executed. Now, executed is in quotations, but people read those headlines and they're like, Brown was executed. Shit, the police executed this guy. You have to read into the story to see that the reason why it's in quotations is because Brown's son says, based off of what he saw, his father was executed. And it's like, the headline they see is Brown was executed. They believe Brown was executed. That's how they do it. And it's fucking frustrating. It's absolutely reckless. And these mainstream media outlets, CNN, MSNBC, these people should be held accountable for this shit. There should be some type of repercussion for reporting this shit like this. They shouldn't be allowed to at all, but whatever. I mean, again, the First Amendment, it's a tricky one, because the only people who are completely off limits from being censored in any way whatsoever is the mainstream media. They can report whatever they want, and nobody's going to say a thing about it. They're actually in bed with big tech that silences the people who are trying to get the truth out there. It's insane. These mainstream media outlets have no credibility whatsoever. They definitely have no accountability whatsoever. They do not have to worry about the repercussions of what happens when they report this false shit. They just don't care. They have an agenda, and whatever happens, happens. It's just, they know that they have to make the world believe that cops are racist and they're killing black people like crazy. And it's, there should, again, if they're going to impeach Donald Trump a second time because he had a speech that got people riled up and got them to want to go to the Capitol and have an insurrection or whatever the fuck it was. I mean, again, if you watch that speech, he never said you need to go there and tear down those fucking walls and break windows. No, that's not what happened. He literally told them, we need to protest peacefully. You need to do what you think is right, but do it peacefully. And then at some point when the shit started getting crazy, he was on Twitter telling them to go home. But if they're going to impeach him for that, why can't they hold the mainstream media accountable for inciting violence? They're the ones who go out there and report false shit to make it look like cops are executing black people. And then when Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all these other people hit the streets and start burning cities down, how come they're not held accountable? How come they're not getting in trouble for any of this? They're off limits. You guys can't touch them. I get censored for talking about the election and for giving you guys, for the most part, the truth. To the best of my knowledge, the truth. I get censored and I get my shit taken down. But the mainstream media can literally incite violence by giving you lies. And nothing happens. I'm sorry for yelling. I get so fucking angry about this. Like, we have... A majority of this country truly believes that we have a huge race problem right now. And as you've watched my previous episodes, all you have to do is look at the statistics. All you have to do is do math to see that that is absolutely false. That is not true. I'm not saying that there's no racist people in this world. I'm just saying that there's not systemic racism in the police force, at least in that sector of the fucking country. They're not going out there killing black people in insane amounts. It's just not happening. And I'm not going to go into the statistics again. You guys can watch the past video if you want to, if you need to know what I'm talking about, because I've done it enough. I don't want to bore you with those statistics again, but it's cut and dry, man. All you got to do is look it up. You can look this stuff up yourself. Go to the FBI Department of Justice website and just look at crimes that are committed, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about and why this is proof that, if anything, it's the opposite. They are less likely to kill black people based off of fucking racism than whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into it again, you guys. I'm sorry. What's that noise? Shut up. All I'm trying to say is that the mainstream media will never ever report the truth when it comes to stories like this. They just want you to believe their agenda and believe the propaganda that white cops are racist murderers. That's just how it is. And it's got to stop. This has to stop. I get so worked up about this because I wish that I could reach more people. I mean, the mainstream media can report something and immediately the whole world thinks it's true. And that is power. It sucks, but it's true. That's power. I wish I had just a fraction of that following so that when I tell you guys the truth, the opposite happens. I'm literally trying to make the world a better place by bringing down these tensions, by bringing common sense to these situations, something that is completely blown out, something that is completely missing every single time something like this happens. Common sense. Keep a level head, stay cool, and just look at the statistics, look at the story, find out what really happened before you watch the news. It sucks. It's hard to do, but that's what you have to do. You literally have to. The best thing, honestly, is to watch like the local news. Find something local where this shit happened and see what they're reporting, because for the most part, they're going to give you the truth. Once you start watching CNN and MSNBC, the story's already been molded to how they want you to perceive it, and they're just feeding you a bunch of lies. They're feeding you a bunch of garbage that's only going to tell the story they want you to see. Sorry for getting so worked up, you guys. Like, I seriously, it drives me nuts. I just wish there was something that I could do to help. It's crazy how somebody like me has just over 300 subscribers. Like, you'd think that there'd be more people out there who would like to know the truth. Maybe it's because everybody thinks they're really getting the truth from the mainstream media. Am I naive in thinking that I'm going to be able to make a difference here? Like, is that stupid? I think it always starts that way, but I truly want to make a difference. I want people to be able to see what's really going on, because the mainstream media is fucking with everybody. CNN is racist. MSNBC is racist. These mainstream media outlets are racist, and so is Black Lives Matter. These people are intentionally fucking with you. How do you guys not see that? They're putting out this message, and you're just lining up like soldiers going out there and marching for these causes that are completely fraudulent. They had everybody believing that this was an execution, and they were marching on the streets. They were doing the exact same shit because they just believe the mainstream media. Like, it's crazy. They're fucking with you guys, man. They're putting this guy up on a pedestal, and they're telling you that he is a hero. They're telling you that George Floyd was a hero. This is what I'm talking about. This is how fucked up it is. Do you remember back when you used to think of Martin Luther King as a hero and Malcolm X as a hero. Now your heroes are George Floyd and Andrew Brown. These are the people that are held up that you're supposed to look up to and think of as heroes. They're fucking with you guys. They're doing this on purpose. Look at how stupid this is. Like, they've got you marching in the streets the minute they put a headline out there, and it's fake. Like, they're controlling you and they're laughing at you when you do this. It's insane. Black Lives Matter. Really. They come out with a message called Black Lives Matter, a movement called Black Lives Matter, which is true. They do matter. And now, if you say all lives matter, that means you're racist, because you're not just specifically saying only Black Lives Matter. You're racist by saying all lives matter. And now, I'm not going to get into that because I don't give a fuck about that. But what I believe, what I truly believe should be the message, is all Black Lives Matter. Not just Black Lives Matter. They should say all Black Lives Matter, because not all Black Lives Matter to Black Lives Matter. I've said this before. Why is it that we know who Ma'Khia Bryant is, but nobody knows who Nyara Givens is? Like, these two incidences happen very close to each other, about the same time. And Ma'Khia Bryant was the 15 or 16-year-old girl who was trying to stab another black girl, and a police officer showed up and shot her before she could. Her arm was in the air getting ready to stab this girl, and he shot her before she could kill her. Now, you know who Ma'Khia Bryant is because she was killed by a white police officer, and Black Lives Matter wanted you to villainize this guy, and LeBron James literally put a target on this guy's fucking, well, not literally, I guess. He literally put his life in danger, but LeBron James decided to put this guy's picture out there on his Twitter and essentially put a target on his back. I mean, his life was in danger because LeBron James said that he was next. Now, you don't know who Nyara Givens is, but Nyara Givens is a young 13-year-old black girl that was killed by another black girl. She was stabbed to death in Ohio as well. So, like, I think this was just days apart. Basically the exact same story here. The only difference is there wasn't a white cop there, or a black cop, that for that matter. It doesn't matter what color the cop is. There was not a police officer there to save Nyara Givens' life. All I'm saying is, if Black Lives Matter really cared about all black lives, they would have told you about Nyara Givens. But no, it doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't fit their agenda, so they're not reporting on it. Because, truth be told, if a cop were there, she'd probably still be alive today. But no, that doesn't fit their narrative. And that's what I'm talking about. They're fucking with you guys. They are fucking with you. And they're laughing. They're fucking racist. They know that by reporting certain shit, they can put you out on the streets and have you committing crimes as if you're doing it in the name of justice. But no, you're going to get arrested. You're going to get in trouble. They're putting you in harm's way. They're going to cause more black lives to be lost by reporting this shit. They're intentionally trying to defund the police so more black people die. And you're falling for it. You need to stand up against the media and say, stop this, you racist fucks. Because they're racist. That's why they're doing this. You need to just open your eyes and you will see what the fuck is happening. I get so fucking frustrated, you guys. Because I wish I could do more. I wish I had the power that the mainstream media had, so I could just reach more people and open their eyes so they can see exactly what the fuck is happening here. It's crazy, you guys. They are racist. Those are the racists. MSNBC, CNN, Black Lives Matter, they are the racists. They are the ones who are manipulating you and making you truly believe that this shit is happening, and now you're going out marching on the streets and you're going to get in trouble. You're going to die. You're going to be arrested. You're greatly increasing your chances of being harmed by doing what the mainstream media is making you do. This isn't a movement for justice. This is a movement to kill more black people, and you just don't see it. All you have to, and they know that all you've got to do is look at the statistics, look at the numbers, and you'll see that this is a big lie. That's my new hashtag. Hashtag all Black Lives Matter. Hashtag they're fucking with you. Guys, I'm sorry for talking about the exact same shit again, but it is so necessary. It is so important. And and I'll probably do it again, but whatever. I'm sorry for getting so worked up too. Sorry for swearing so much. I wish I didn't swear as much as I do, but I'm freaking passionate about this now. I think about it all the time because it is so important that you guys see what is happening. I'm trying to help you. I'm not racist. I'm not a white supremacist. I'm not against Black Lives Matter as the message. I'm against the organization because now I know how fraudulent they are. I know how fake that shit is. I know how fake the fake news is. I know that the mainstream media doesn't have your best interest at heart, and I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to battle them. Stop them from spreading this fake information that's causing harm to you. I'm trying to help. That's all, man. Anyways, thanks for watching again. I promise you I'm going to start making more episodes that are lightning and fun, and we can talk about like the shit that got me started in this. Conspiracy theories. I thought they were really interesting. They were fascinating. It was really fun to do those episodes just talking about conspiracy theories because it's fun. And then by doing all this research and looking into stuff, I'm like, holy crap, there is some weird shit going on here, guys. The world is not what it seems. And a big part of that is the mainstream media. And so I realized I had been lied to for years. I literally thought Donald Trump was the devil and that he was racist and he was only president because the Russians hacked our electoral system and made him president. Now, that's really what I believed because that's what the mainstream media was telling me, but it's a lie, you guys. The mainstream media does not have your best intentions at heart. They are trying to deceive you, and they're doing a very good job. They deceived me. They did very well there. For years, I truly believed everything that I saw on CNN and MSNBC, and then once I realized this shit is fake, they are fucking with me, I decided I wanted to do something about it, and that's what this is for. So if you think that this is something that can help somebody, please share this with your friends and family. Share this with anybody who you think needs to see the truth. It's really depressing, and so I'm going to do my best to try and change it up a little bit, guys. I just had to get on this same topic again because that's what's in the news. That's what's happening, and they're trying to twist it again and make you guys think that all cops are racist. Like, there's a reason why this campaign is being pushed so hard by the media and by Black Lives Matter. We just need to figure out what it is. I think I have an idea, but I'm not going to tell you guys what I believe because of the fact that it could potentially be false, and I don't want to sway you the wrong direction and make you believe something that's completely false. But for now, we're just gonna try and lighten it up a little bit. I'm not sure what the next episode will be about. Maybe I'll end up talking about the same shit, but I'm gonna do my best to try and make it more entertaining and bring a lighter tone to it, so you guys can maybe smile a little bit while you're watching this instead of ripping your hair out like I am. So yeah, again, if you think this is going to help anybody, please share it. That's the best thing you can do. And subscribe yourself, please. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you're getting this. Please just subscribe and turn on notifications. It'll help out a ton. So yeah, thank you for watching. Until the next time, keep your eyes open because there's some shit going on. See ya.